Alright, we're recording. Hey everyone! Okay, here we go. Hi everyone, I'm E6, this is my buddy Stegs. This is my blah 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 yakety schmackety about Flow for the Flow Toys contest. Yeah, here we go. Alright, so this is all about what flow means to me, and I should say that what flow means to me has been shaped and defined by other people, my friends and other spinners on the internet and around the world. In particular, Charlie from Connecticut, Drax, Ted from New York, Mir and I. When I think about flow, it's about performance, right? It's about some sort of art or craft that you do, and this moment when you feel complete about it, right? Any spinner has three parts to their spinning, basically. There's the obvious part, the things that you can do with the object, your physical skills, the things that you do with your muscles. And then there's the mental part where you're thinking about what you're gonna do, or what moves go with what moves, or what you think should happen, right? And then there's the more subtle part, and Mir and I talks about this in this video, this sort of internal part of you. And I look at it more of your emotional history and your biographical history and sense of self that shows in your performance art. What I mean by biographical and emotional history is that everyone has different experiences in their life, and particularly with expressive movement or any kind of physical activity that sort of becomes your whole library of motion. And you know, it might be that you played basketball when you were a kid. You might have skateboarded or snowboarded or surfed or danced ballet or breakdanced, or maybe you weren't very active as a kid and you played a lot of video games. Those still manifest themselves in your movement vocabulary, as far as maybe you didn't physically do the motions yourself, but you have ideas and feelings about what expressive movement should be, and they're ingrained in you. So that's the internal biographical and emotional history that you have. The intellectual part is things like you're thinking about timing and direction, thinking about what transitions work for going into what you want to do, 9-square theory, unit circle theory, whatever. And then the physical, which is what you actually can do, your actual skills that you're able to do with your flow art. In terms of conveying some sort of message or expression through movement, those are the three things you have at your disposal to do that with. So what flow is the synergy of those three things bridged by the performance to reach into the audience. Even if the audience is just you, then the flow would just reflect back into you. But basically, flow happens when the three things, the internal, the intellectual, and the physical are aligned, and energy can flow clearly from one to the next, out into the audience and into those three things that exist also in the audience. So you make this bridge between what you're doing and what the audience is receiving. Even if the audience is just you, then it's reflexive, and you feel that. So in a case where you are the audience and you're making that flow connection with yourself, you're thinking, you're feeling, and you're doing at the same time, or outwardly at the same time as you're absorbing it back in, and it feels amazing. So it's really difficult to actually have all of those things connected and in line, because a lot of times you're too focused on one thing or the other. You know, you're focused on a really hard trick, and you're just really focused on the physical aspect of it. Can I do this thing? And a lot of times you're thinking about, okay, what's going on around me? What's happening with the music? Is what I'm doing matching what's happening to the music? Am I on time? Am I on beat? Or is the audience responding? You know, do I look good? How's my hair? Or whatever. And then there's the emotional part where, like, you know, sometimes you go out there and you just don't feel very good, and you think, well, you know, whatever, I feel like spinning, or I have to do this gig or whatever, so I'm just gonna do it. But maybe your heart's not really into it. It's pretty rare and difficult to actually have that flow where all of those things are connected, and energy is flowing freely in and out through those avenues. I've really only experienced this complete sense of flow once, and it was at Wildfire, and I wasn't feeling very good. It's very easy at Wildfire to feel bad about your spinning because there's so many amazing people there, and you know, I wasn't feeling very good about my spinning, and I went out on the burning field and didn't see any of my friends around, so I thought, you know, well, whatever, I'll do a spin now, just to make myself feel better, or to have fun, you know. And the music was really mellow, but had a good strong beat behind it, and I just lit up, and everything disappeared. It was just, I could hear the music, I could see the ground, I could see the fire, and I could feel everything at once. I could feel the flames, where the flames were going. I could feel where the music was going to change. I could feel what was inside me that needed to come out, and it all worked together, and it just flowed, for the lack of a better term. It just flowed, and it was amazing. And it turned out that when the flames went out, a bunch of my friends were actually there watching, and they came up and gave me big hugs and told me about, you know, how nice my spin was, and that was actually really amazing. Yeah, okay. I think that's about all I want to say about flow. Stegs, do you want to add anything?